Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be looking at the patch 6.1 preliminary patch notes, and well, there's not much else to say about it. Just as a reminder, there's no job changes in this one, so I'll have to do a separate kind of thoughts video on the job changes when the servers go down on Monday. On top of that, we'll be getting little patch notes for all this other stuff. As you can see at the top, it reminds us that it's going to be another 2 weeks before the new Ultimate comes out. Emilios, Hildebrand, somehow the Arcasadara tribal quests, those are all scheduled for 6.15. Data Center Travel is scheduled for 6.18. And some things that aren't mentioned here, Tataru's Grand Endeavor, as well as the Omega Beyond the Rift series, are currently unknown which patch they'll be placed in, but probably 0.15 or 0.18. They're not confirmed here, but just as a reminder, those won't be in this initial patch either. So a lot of things I know seems missing right out the gate, but of course we're here for the more major stuff in the first place, not the side quests as much as I'm looking forward to them. Trailer if you haven't seen it, index if you haven't seen it, the breakdowns if you haven't seen it, and with that, let's get started. So there's not much to say here at the start. These are all screenshots we've seen on the press site. And of course, they keep all of the names of the quests and everything. Now, I will say this is actually a change of pace, and I'm sure this is very deliberate. The very first quest is normally not named after the patch. That's normally reserved for the very last quest for a patch. But given the nature of the story here, they went with that right out the gate. So that works for me, but there's nothing else to say there. Midst of the Realm, again, some screenshots. This is a new one with Rambros. I figured he would probably make a return. Given we're going on adventures with Graha and Mordona, it'd be really weird if Rambros didn't get involved in some way. It gives me kind of Crystal Tower flashbacks and feelings. I like it. A mission in Mordona, and then the rest of the quest names are secrets. The role quests for completing all the previous ones, it's listed right here that you need all the previous role quests for Endwalker completed. And we just have another picture of Foshino. We know we're going to be dealing with stuff in Garlemald and inside of the tower, so just a matter of seeing what it is. Some of the old stuff added to New Game Plus, Endwalker, Part 1, Part 2, Roll Master Quest, Tank Roll Quest, Melee, Physical DPS, Magical Range DPS, Reaper Quests, Sage Quests, and Healer Roll Quests. All of these added in. Roll Master Quest is the brand new one that we're getting, so that's already in New Game Plus right out the gate. I said right out the gate like 3 times this video. Certain main scenario quests for Realm Reborn have been revised. We already knew this was coming to some degree. Currently undertaking a Realm Reborn, please refer to the duty list or journal as you may find the quest information has been updated. The quest has been changed. You'll be asked to abandon and accept the newly designed quest. The big one is Operation Archon and the Ultimate Weapon. That is because those are no longer unlocking the same types of content. Operation Archon is going to be unlocking, what's his face? Ratatan, I believe. Well, is that Operation Archon? Yeah, I think that is. So that's the one that would unlock Ratatan normally. And then the Ultimate Weapon is broken down a little bit because now we have the separation of instances with the Praetorium being broken up into 3 different things. So that's probably why those 2 things are a particular change. Playing as a different character in instance quest battle, actions on the additional hotbar can now be rearranged. I didn't even think that that wasn't possible. Like, I've never thought about it because there's so few actions, but I guess that's nice. They show it with controller probably for that particular reason. Character portraits implemented for battle dialogue. That's a nice little flavor thing, but not all that important, but I like it. The report area for a leave will now be displayed in the information section. That's a nice little quality of life. Not that leaves really matter anymore, but, you know, that is what it is. Following adjustments have been made to the journal entries for Fisher Field Crafts. Display the method of fishing, the area where the desired catch is. Yeah, nice quality of life for fishing Fieldcraft leaves. These kind of things were tedious in the past, and, well, they're less so now. New items for Bicolor Gemstones. This was one way they really dropped the ball in Shadowbringers with Bicolor Gemstones. They just didn't update them enough. I think they did update them in 5.1, but then they went, I think, without updates like for the rest of the expansion. So this is, I guess, kind of expected. They would do a little update to Bicolor Gemstones. It's really, I really want to see them utilize it for the rest of the expansion. So when there's new materials and new things people want to craft or new items readily available, that people go out and try to get them, go do fates, go get the gemstones as they do at the beginning of the expansion. Excitedtron 6000 rewards updated. Yeah, that's going to happen pretty much the whole expansion. New Decipher animation. I'm now actually looking at a map instead of just doing this. And I guess all of a sudden the treasure chest being there on the ground. A nice little flavor. Yeah, nothing major. New charge symbols. Symbol options have been added to the company crests. Okay. And also to the PvP team crest. Okay. New craftable items to the company workshop. Out of season, but I like gingerbread houses, so I guess that's fine. New subaquatic voyage items, that's in every patch. There's nothing new to talk about there. A reminder that plots in the Imperium are now available for sale and that the Oceanian data center will now have housing available. Also, lottery system for the purchase of the land has been implemented, but they have a whole separate post on that. Thank goodness. Keeping the patch notes a little shorter by linking to an entirely other post within the patch notes. Every housing district will have dedicated wards for private and free company estates. They had told us that in advance. Preventing reselling players must now remain a part of a grant company for a minimum of 30 days before they are allowed to purchase it. We were told that before. Price will no longer be reduced over time. We were told that. The new furnishing designs, we were shown these during a live letter. They all look very nice. We weren't shown all of them, though. I don't think we were shown, like, this and this. They look nice. I don't really do much in the way of housing, so, I'm not as enthusiastic about seeing a new fountain and, fireplace and a table with a map on it or a hot tub outside, so. But I know people who are, so nice. New orchestrion roles, location, duty names previously omitted to prevent spoilers will now be displayed. Okay. New aquarium fish. Okay. New paintings. Okay. New seeds. Okay. This is all normal stuff. New prizes. Oh, so this is where it's from. It's an MGP prize, the near mount, the little dude carrying us. All right. Well, we don't know how much, but I'd have to assume probably 500,000, 700. I don't think this is a million. I don't think this deserves to be a million. Honestly, it's really the animation work of the character hanging and I guess making that work as a mount. But like visually speaking, I wouldn't pay more than like a couple 100,000 for something like that. So hopefully it's not too expensive. They did say it would be pretty easy. So I'm going to assume it's on the, maybe 200, 250,000 range. New triple triad cards and opponents. Nothing new there. Following updates have been made to Rothgar character customization. Regardless of your progression in the main scenario, these changes will be available when creating new characters, editing your character's appearance using a Fantasia, or hiring a retainer. Still need to use a Fantasia to do it, though. That's an important detail. Certain options that were previously designated as facial features, such as bangs and sideburns, have been moved to the hairstyle section. Okay. And new facial features have been added. Yeah, they told us Rothgar would be getting new hairstyles. They also did tell us male and female Vieras would as well. So none of that's really a surprise. Duty support is just the renamed trust system that's used for the main scenario itself. And that's going to be available for all of the 2.0 stuff, as well as the stuff that was already available before, Shadowbringers and Walker. Again, this is all stuff they've been over before. So if you understand how the trust system works, you don't need any of this other than to get caught up to date of which Realm Reborn instances are actually available, which is all the MSQ related ones. A new dungeon's been added this patch. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Following additions have been made to the trust system scenario mode, incorporated into the duty support system. Yeah, so that was expected. And you may continue to challenge previously completed main scenario dungeons with a party via the trust system. Yeah. Unending Codex has been added, giving players ease of access. Yeah, this is going to have information on all the characters and events, and we get this in the patch 6.1 MSQ. Really think they should implement it to an earlier patch and make it like a separate feature almost, instead of tying it to, 4 or 5 expansions into the game, but, I'm not the one making the game. Wondrous Tales, this happens every time. Prizes availability has been shifted around. Less than 9 duties complete has been changed. Okay, I guess that might just be more flavor text. She's like, what? You're not even done yet. Certain tasks within Wondrous Tales journals will now allow you to select from more than one duty. Oh, that's actually really nice. Completing any of the duties listed in the square will mark it as complete. For example, the objective previously labeled as the Binding Coil of Bahamut turn 1 has now been changed to simply the Binding Coil of Bahamut. And any turn will be counted. Okay, so you could do turn 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you get Binding. Oh, I really like this, because sometimes when I'm doing Wondrous Tales, which isn't that often, mind you, I'll look at like the instance. I'll be like, oh, I wish that was like one fight over. I wish it was, I don't know. I wish it wasn't second coil turn 9. I wish it was like second coil turn like 6 or something like that. Or, the final coil. I wish it was, just 12 or 13 instead of 11 or something like that. So nice to have this, because it means that if you get a really annoying, no more getting the one really annoying one in an entire normal raid. You can just pick the one that's easiest. Some might say that makes it less diverse. If anything, I also think of when you're doing it with friends and you have like mildly different objectives, there's a little bit more of a chance for overlapping objectives probably now. So that's another nice thing as well. New Unreal Ultima. Oh, so this is, so from the preview, this is it. So it's the troll mount that is the new Unreal mount. I saved up 1,000 leaves, so I'm deciding in my head if I want to sell the first one or if I want to keep it. I think I'm going to sell it. I think I'm going to sell the first one. I want to make that money. Money, money, money. Following adjustments have been made to the sightseeing log. Oh, wow, that's a much nicer way of showing when you complete a Vista. Man, when I did it, it looked like crap. It didn't look like anything when I did it. It just said you did it, and then you moved on and you went to the menu and read it. That's really nice. I like that. Nice flavor. Also, this menu looks way nicer than it did before. It was such an ugly menu before. New emotes added. Okay. It says 2.x for that, so it's got to be from something early, I suppose. Nothing major, I guess. All right, well, moving on. Battle system, again, there's no job changes here. No changes have been made to their effects. Adjustments to action trait status descriptions have been made. That's fine. Following adjustments have been made to job gauges. Dancer's Esprit gauge when filling to 50 or higher has been adjusted to be more discernible. I like that. The sound effect that plays when Bard's soul voice gauge reaches 100 will now also play when the gauge reaches 80. I don't think you need to have it at 80 and 100. Just make it play as soon as it's, like, available. The new visual indicator is nice, but this is redundant right here. Just change it to 80. Don't make it so it does it at both 80 and 100. New dungeon. They won't tell us anything. Average item level 560. Pretty much expected. Endsinger's Aria. I expected 580. Yeah, it'll give 595 weapons. It doesn't say it'll give 595 weapons, but I'm telling you it's going to give 595 weapons because that's just how it's always worked before. Just have to beat Endwalker and talk to the Wandering Minstrel and Old Charlian. Okay. And then the item exchange is in Radzat Hand at Nesvos. Ultima's Bane Unreal, if you have Unreal unlocked already, and you have beaten this, which you should have if you have Unreal unlocked. Actually, do you need Shadowringers and keeping up with the Aaliyah pose? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's just the same things that you needed for it before. Yeah, 565 will be the item level sync, and that's where Unreal is going to be for the rest of the expansion, so get used to it. Players can now be revived in battle after being incapacitated. Really? After all this time, huh? Okay. Yeah, so there's no more fall off and can't get res fights anymore. All of them. I wonder if that means if they do Sephiroth Unreal, if they'll go with the original or if they're going to go with this. They'll probably do this. I think it makes more sense to do this. But it's a long time coming. Some people are probably going to be like, oh, why would they do that? That's what made those fights iconic. Yeah, no one cares anymore. Just nobody cares. Stop. It's like 6-year-old stuff. Just get over it. Nobody cares. All right. Nobody cares what you went through 6 years ago. Back in my day, nobody cares. They just don't. Shut up. Nobody cares. Arena. Let's see. Hrace Velger. Oh, I hadn't even thought about Sorkai. Is Sorkai on this list? No. Well, that's true because you couldn't walk off the platforms. You had to be standing on them and then they would be destroyed. So now they can't be destroyed and Cauterize just deals lethal damage. All right, nice compromise. Weekly restrictions on rewards and Asphodels. Normal mode being unlocked is fairly, normal. Yeah. And this doesn't apply to the blade. Yeah, that was expected. They do reduce the amount that you need from 7 to 4. This is all expected stuff. Gunbreaker, Dancer, Reaper, and Sage weapons available for Thornton. Gee, I wonder why they would do that. Not like they're planning on making a different version of those for any new content that could be coming out, right? Well, at least we know what weapons are going to be the baseline for Ultimate now. It's going to be Thornton's weapons, and they decided to make new ones. I really like when they do this, when they don't just take the old models that didn't exist. So a great example would be T. T used Alexander weapons for jobs that had Alexander weapons. But, I'm sorry, it used Anima weapons for jobs that had Anima weapons as a base. What did it use again? No, it used Ferdinand. Yeah, I was trying to remember what step it used, because it didn't use, like, the Deathlock. It used, like, the early step Anima weapons, yeah. But then for, like, Dancer and Gunbreaker and so on, they just used, like, random other weapons and, like, just added effects to them. It's kind of underwhelming especially for Dancer, I know that. I really liked what they did in Unending Coil. Unending Coil, they made new Final Coil weapons for Red Mage and for Samurai. And this is what I would like them to do going forward. If the fight you're doing doesn't thematically have weapons for the fight, like the thematic weapons you want to pull from, add the low-level weapons. New players or players that don't do Ultimate, eat that up, because now they don't care about the fact that they can't get the ultimate weapon because they just got a new glam, and people are always striving for new glams and stuff. So this is the right approach, and whenever they do it, gets a nice little, well, I was gonna say thumbs up, but A-okay from me. The Alliance Raid Dungeon Aglia has been added. This is another picture. Buyer got 565 to enter, blah, blah, blah. This is going to say all the same things. It says every 24-man raid, make sure, you unlock it, and it's got a weekly reset, 1 piece of loot per week. You get a coin for upgrade materials, blah, blah, blah. On top of that, a reminder, you can buy upgrade materials with Sacks of Nuts in Radzat Han and Old Charlian. So, and then on top of that, you can also obtain Radiant Twines and Coatings with the Aglia coin, which is the weekly coin from the new Alliance raid. And then you can do that to use that to upgrade equipment, like you would have up to this point with the Savage stuff. Following duties have been added to the Raid Finder and Singers Ari and Unreal. Yeah, that's normal. Removed and sent to the Duty Finder, Zodiark and Heidelin. That's expected. Echo in all the normal mode story trials for Endwalker, as well as the Minstrel's Ballad of Zodiark and Heidelin. Of course, with slightly different rule sets. You know, how much they actually grant is a bit different, but that's there. Makes farming, if groups are dying for some reason still, helps with the farm a little bit. Location of enemies in the following areas has been adjusted. Mordona, Thavner, Thule. I'm just assuming that's MSQ related stuff. I'm assuming, well, it's a mix of things. This is probably Arcus Odara and MSQ. This is almost certainly MSQ. This is more likely in advance of the Omega quest line. Not that we couldn't go to Ultima Thule as part of the MSQ again, but I think that's probably for the Omega series. Or it could just be some of the old quest stuff that they're trying to make a little less painful. Duty Roulette Expert. Oh, yes, I forgot that 0.1 patches are the golden era of the Expert Roulette. 4. Oh, they did this in Shadowbringers too, and I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. I sure hope we always have 3 or 4. Then 0.2 came around, and they're like, haha, no, back down to 2 you go. Ugh, yeah, 0.1 is the golden era of the Expert Roulette. I'll be sad when 0.2 comes around again, unless they do something different. Maybe they will. I doubt it, but maybe. Mentor, the new dungeon, Aglia and Porta Decumana. Those are all going to be there. This is Ultima, by the way, if anyone's wondering. This is Ultima Weapons' new instance. The duty of the Praetorium is no longer counted as complete. Players must recomplete this duty to unlock Mentor. I love that. They have to redo the... in order to re-unlock Mentor. Yes, you will suffer. You only did this for the crown? Go and do one more, pray. How much do you really want that crown, you undeserving mentor? Suffer. When challenging a duty with an unrestricted party, a vote to abandon duty may now be... Okay, that's actually kind of nice, because there used to be a little bit of funky stuff that could happen with that. Stone Sky Sea. Oh, it just says trial? Oh, wait, no, wait. Trials. Wait, following trials have been added to Stone Sky Sea. 60, 70, 80, 90, and just end singers? Can you just challenge these anywhere? Because that would be really nice. Also, really appreciate this finally. Just having all the different Stone Sky Seas for the general level ranges to practice. Not something I really need all too much, but it's nice to finally see them doing it. Because that was a question from people for quite some time. Adjustments have been made to graphics collision in certain dungeons in A Realm Reborn. Oh, yeah, they have. We saw Toto Rock at the live letter. Adjustments have been made. Copperbell, the content of the battles with Kaudos, Icarus, Ire, and Gygus the Great. What does that mean? The contents? Well, I guess I got to do all those again. Certain dungeon mechanics have been adjusted. I wonder if you won't be able to run past everything anymore. Copperbell has this really weird design where because of the elevators, they don't want players dragging enemies onto them. So if you just keep running throughout most of Copperbell, you almost de-aggro everything without having to kill anything. So I wonder if that's been kind of reworked. Kaudos and Icarus Ire are kind of just boring fights, so I don't really... Maybe they'll just make those different. I don't know. Maybe they just won't be the same fight at all. They won't be like those kind of just sit there and wait for things to happen encounters anymore. But Gygus, yeah, I mean, this was just breaking the wall, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. 1,000 Maws. Yeah, we've seen the, extensive changes to the general progression. We've seen that. And Graphius, I wonder if that has something to do with the eggs along the outside, the like little, like venom sacs that can explode. Contents of the battle with Amadine have been adjusted. It's got to be something to do with the ads, I imagine, because the ads can overwhelm brand new players pretty easily. Yeah, then this is the teleporter. The positioning has been adjusted. Iatar, that's got to be something to do with the poison puddles, like the constant regens with the poison puddles. Maybe the puddles go way faster or something like that. Or maybe Iatar cannot target players in melee range. I don't know. Certain monsters have been adjusted. Map layout. The route through the dungeon has been adjusted. Yeah, this is probably... They probably cut out all the side paths. I didn't even think about Darkhold, to be honest. Stone Vigil. Koshke. That's the second boss, I think. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, the one with the cannon, I think. All right. I mean, I'm gonna assume that the cannons are not even a part of it. And honestly, I'm willing to bet that just cannons are gone. Difficulty of certain mechanics have been eased during the battle with Isaac Bind. Yeah, that's probably this dive bomb stuff, if I had to guess. Cape Westwind, yeah, it's an instance quest to be undertaken solo. Castra Meridianum, yeah, then this is 8 to 4. The Black F, yeah, all the bosses have to be adjusted because they're going from 8 to 4, especially Livia. Doing Livia with trusts. I didn't even think about that till now. I'm willing to bet the whole like dance with the missiles is gone. I hadn't even thought about that with trust. Yeah, Prey, all the battles being adjusted, and then of course the last 2 bosses being removed and moved to their own either 4-player trial or solo instance. In the case of La Habrea, we did know that ability to skip certain cutscenes has been added. I'm gonna assume that applies to scenario roulette, but that the rewards are very much going to suffer because of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that ends up playing out. Let's see. Yeah. Porta Decumana's Ultima, we talked about that. Cape Westwind and the La Habrea battle are each their own separate instance battles. Yeah, we knew that. Castrum has had its poetics cut in half. Praetorium had its poetics cut by 50. Okay. I guess they're just cutting out the last 2 bosses there with Ultima and La Habrea in their calculations. Following changes have been made to duties unlocked by Tales of Adventure Realm Reborn. Yeah, those have just been removed. And then the display for target indicators, certain battle mechanics has been adjusted. It's nice to see them. Honestly, this is big. I bet you. So I've said for years now these needed to be updated. There are markers in old content that have no indication what they actually do, but they will kill the player if they do it wrong. A big example is the second boss of World of Darkness. There is a lightning marker that goes over people's heads. It's a split damage marker. It does 9,999 and then split between everyone hit. That'll kill a player on their own. And there's no way a player's going to know if they've never done it before. So I'm willing to bet that they made adjustments to things like that. And this is long overdue. All of this, in all honesty, most of this is long overdue. And I'm glad to see that they went far more extensive than what they implied they did in the live letters. It's a nice surprise to pick it up in the patch notes and see all these things that they're actually doing to try and make a Realm Reborn, again, a more an overall appealing experience. I was just going to do trusts to go through everything, but given that Castrum and Praetorium, maybe I'll New Game Plus in particular. That way I could just blitz through and get all the way to the end. I also think a Realm Reborn is split up into multiple parts in New Game Plus, so I can just New Game Plus the parts that, like the very last part, and then trust everything else. So it'll probably be pretty nice. Duty listed with main scenario has been changed. Yeah, Porta Decumana is in main scenario roulette now. And the rewards, wait, more poetics? I guess because there's one more potential instance. That's not what I expected to happen. All right. Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm assuming the EXP has gone down. I haven't seen them mention it yet, but the actual poetics went up. All right, if I got Porta Decumana now, dude, actually, main scenario roulette might be like really worth it. Like really, really worth it, because it's like no longer absolute Spain without the S. It'll take longer for the screen to darken after party KO during the following duties. All the Asfidelos, the normals, and Savage. Experimental feature that will allow players a grace period to better identify and understand the reasons behind the party KO. Oh, okay. Okay. No, I get it. For a second, I was like, why would that? Oh, yeah, no. So, yeah, kind of, but we already use a lot of recording tools. Like, not being able to see who had a debuff and who died first, like, sitting there for a few seconds longer, I don't think actually helps this in any capacity. My bigger question is, are they changing the point at which the boss is immune? Like, so if the boss is going to sit there for an extra second or two, will they make it so they can't take dot ticks? Because there's been a number of first kills where a dot tick kills in that like last little time frame when like the game hasn't reset yet. So I'm wondering if they've already thought of that. Interesting. But I don't personally think this is going to achieve what they think it will. I think we have more than enough tools for this already, and there are more useful ways they could help to give players what they need to know to identify what went wrong. So yeah, I'm not that in particular. If the dot thing doesn't apply, I don't think it makes that much a difference. The timing of contact prohibition and escape prohibition in the Epic of Alexander have been adjusted. As a measure to prevent illicit activity. I'm guessing, I mean, obviously that means sales, but I'm just, I didn't realize those two things were being abused for sales. So that was a bit of a surprise to me. Following adjustment has been made to the Boston, Southern Front, and Zadnor. Lost Finds cache has been added, thank God. Lost Find, okay, they just added stuff. Oh, and they boosted the EXP from Castrum and Dalriada. They still really need to look at Delubrum. It needs, like, they need to do something with Delubrum. They need to rework its reward structure or something, because there's no reason. Like, people who want to do the old stuff just get hard stopped. And yeah, I know, like, it'll automatically queue you in with Big Echo, but, like, it's just, honestly, it needs some work. PvP, all the feast stuff being removed. Rival Wings are unavailable till 6.2. And I've been over Crystalline Conflict stuff so much that I don't think I need to dissect too much here. Just the names of the arenas, the Palestra, the Volcanic Heart, and Cloud9 are all here. Just the requirements as they always are. The new quest, the Crystal Lines Call, which I'll be going and grabbing pretty quickly. You know, and this is just explain the rules. If you haven't been paying attention to all the live letters and posts and everything that's been released on this, then you know, there isn't this is all that is, you know, just more information, restrictions, use of the following class or job changes, mounts, teleportation, chocobo companions, all that stuff. Abandoning matches, you know, lets you know that there is a penalty for it. Victory conditions, you know, pushing the tactical crystal all the way to the other side. It's pretty much an immediate win as long as it's uncontested at that point. Remain bound until the first 30 seconds have passed, so the 4-minute 30-second mark of the match. So it gives you time to get some initial kills out or get into position before you can actually start making progress. Transporting the tactical crystal, you know, you just go along the lanes, then you get to a checkpoint, and then you have to capture the checkpoint, and then, you know, at that point it's just barrel to the end as fast as you can. Tactical crystal speed, you manage to reach the crystal will travel faster when moving back through a stretch of line your team has moved it once before. That's pretty nice. That makes it so that it's just not the same speed as it always was. So that allows the match to push and shove a lot faster once any team has made any amount of progress. I like that. That's a little detail that I hadn't noticed from before, so I kind of like that. Checkpoints and progression. Team attempting to clear the checkpoint must remain until it reaches 100%. Should the opposing team have a greater majority at any point, the tactical crystal will begin moving toward the opposing team's goal. However, any progress made in clearing the checkpoint will not be lost. Yeah, we knew that. Sprint zones, that just makes you sprint automatically when you run through them. Jump glyphs. Cloud9 is equipped with jump glyphs. Stepping on a jump glyph will rapidly transport you. I like that. Arena events eruption. Volcanic Heart periodically erupts with Bomberman bombs. Bomb cores will remain at the site of the bomb's destruction, granting those who acquire them bonuses to damage dealt. I like this map. I think this is going to be the most fun map because it has I don't know. I just like the environmental hazards, and I like the little damage boosts for proper positioning and stuff like that. I think this is the most balanced map, but I think this will be the most like casually fun map to do. And then also you have Turbulence here, just knocked up into the air by tornadoes. This is going to be frustrating. While you're in the air, though, you can get black chocobo feathers, which will grant you a soft landing and nullify the damage. So if you do get knocked into the air, you got to try to collect those. Little mini game. I think this is going to be everyone's least favorite map. Nobody likes being knocked up by tornadoes, and just because you added a little mini game doesn't really make anyone want to do it all that more. You can use a guard. That's the command that reduces your damage taken by 90%. Turbulence also leaves behind a twister at the site where it occurred and can be confirmed on the map. Stumbling into these twisters will result in damage and knockback. Yeah, okay. Cast into the air by Cloud9's. Yeah, so it looks like it's just random. Like who gets knocked into the air, and wherever anyone's knocked into the air leaves a tornado behind. Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people aren't going to like that. That map's probably going to need some adjustments in the future. Medicine kits, you know, just HP. 50% HP if you step over one. So just pick those up if you need a quick boost in health. Then you have seasons, ranked matches, tiers, risers. They explained all this in the live letter. Right, yeah. So this is all if you weren't paying attention to the live letter. They explained all of this there. Series Malmstones. This is them just going into more detail about it. Release participating PvP content, earn new series EXP. Maximum is 30, but you continue to accumulate EXP and extra levels after that. It lasts for a predetermined amount of time, and you collect all the mom stones and claim any rewards. And that among those rewards are trophy crystals, which can be exchanged at the Wolf's Den Pier for a variety of items. So here's the thing. This is trophy crystals can be exchanged for a variety of items. We know that the previous series rewards are on that list, at least back one series. We'll see if they adjust that in the future. But I do wonder if this has things like materia or crafting or mounts or minions and other rewards. If it has stuff like materias or any sort of reusable, you know, something that would give you a reason to be like, oh, you know, I want to get materia for the next raid tier. I'm going to PvP. So, yeah, I'm wondering if that's what's going to be there. And I was actually wondering, I've been wondering that for the last couple weeks, because I was like, they really should add something tempting to those right out the gate, because it just seems like it's going to be really underwhelming until they get a few series under their belts. But hopefully that's what they're doing. Shop NPCs and available wares have been adjusted for the Wolf's Den Pier. There is also an NPC that explains the crystalline conflict in detail. Then, you know, casual ranked matches, the actual custom matches for the individual maps. The arena for casual and ranked match rotates periodically according to Earth time. The current and next arena in rotation can be viewed under the information in the duty finder when selecting casual or ranked. Okay. I was kind of just hoping they'd leave all three open all the time, and it would just be random which one you got thrown into. I understand why they're doing what they're doing, but I don't agree with it. I really just everything on the table all at once in PvP is how I would like to see it always. Replaced with custom, yeah, okay. Coordinates with the removal of the feast implementation of crystalline conflict. Quick chat options have been added. Sorry. Oh, man. So which one of these is going to get abused, I wonder? As grief, since we can't actually use our words. Quick chat options have been removed for all the feast. You know, honestly, I'm kind of glad. Now, I didn't even think about this. With the feast being gone and all the roles being unlocked, all this is useless. So this is all there is now. Which, thank God, like, that was one thing. They were like, oh, you have, like, you know, 9 PvP actions now, but also here's 20 targeting options for you to put on your hotbar for communicating. And it's like, bro, I'd rather just take 6 seconds and poorly type who to target in the middle of the fight than have to friggin' keybind 20 different chat messages or, like, markers over people's heads and things like that. Quick chat options for just greetings at the start and all that are still relatively the same. Attacking, blocking, MP, stuff like that. So those are all still the same. But I'm glad to see, I'm kind of glad to see all of this gone. Rather just be able to type, though. In accordance with the removal of the feast and implementation of crystalline conflict, the UI elements have been adjusted. Yeah, all the PvP stuff. Season 1 of the crystalline conflict will begin. The collaboration with Garo has returned. Gunbreaker and Reaper gear have been added. And then the achievement titles for Samurai, Red Mage, Gunbreaker, Dancer, Reaper, and Sage have all been added as well. New items have been added. You know, this is the 24-man stuff from the front and the back, but they're not going to show us much more. New recipes. This will be from the Excitatron, no doubt about that. Following items have had their name changed. The fortune egg is now a chipped fortune egg, because they're probably going to be using fortune eggs again for the Easter event that's coming up. Classification of the following items has been changed to rare. Oh, instead of okay, that's just so you can actually can't pick more than one up, I guess. The following items can now be equipped regardless of gender. Always good to see them breaking down the boundaries here. I always forget there's still this many things that are different. Honestly, the Rathalos stuff, that's a big one I had forgotten about there. So that's always a good thing to see. So glad to see it. You can upgrade your 580 crafted stuff into 590 now, as long as you just spend a little bit of extra tomes to grab some of the items. The Hanish certificate of grade 1 import Crucible / Crucible Reigns. Those are going to be the items that you have right there. This is for trading in the 580 gear. You get the first one. This is for upgrading. These are upgrade mats, essentially, that you would use. You would use these to actually do the upgrade, I suppose. It's the same as it has been since Shadowbringers. But yeah, and it explains all that here. So if you haven't done it before, then just read this real quick and it explains everything. New items have been added to the inventory of Calamity Salvagers. Okay. Animations for the type of hand actions have been adjusted. Okay. Applicable to all crafter classes for the Observe action. Cool. I get to look at it in a different way than before. Check the required collectability of crafted items during synthesis, trial synthesis. I like that. That's nice. This little checkbox or this little breakpoint thing right here. It's kind of nice. The animation of Disciple land actions have been adjusted. Scour, Meticulous, Powerful hook set, Precision hook set. Okay. All right. Until they add more ocean fishing stuff, I don't have to think about that. Even if they do, I don't want to think about it. New items have been added to gathering points, new fish, new requirements for fish via spear fishing. Text color for custom deliveries adjusted. Fishers earn the greatest possible rewards when submitting a large size fish for custom deliveries. Okay. Following adjustments have been made to Glamour Plates. They added 5 more, and they can be used in all sanctuaries. Level cap for desynthesis being raised. Nothing new there. New mount. That's the links from Endsinger's Aria. New Chocobo barding. Also from Endsinger's Aria, most likely. That's weird looking. New minions have been added. Little doggo. New fashion accessories. We know this is from the PvP series. Change pose when using fashion accessories. Layout for fashion accessories has been adjusted. I've never used fashion accessories once, so you can tell my interest levels are... List of customizable options during character creator has been adjusted. I think that has something to do with the Rothgar changes from earlier. Market boards, yeah, they told us all this. You know, a new subsection for miscellaneous and registrable miscellaneous. Wow, has been added for items that obtain register something else, such as minions or orchestrion rolls. Filter shows unobtained or unregistered items. Add to wishlist, add to favorites. Now display the number of currently registered entries. The number of registered entries versus the total number of available slots will be available in the log window when you add or remove items to and from your wishlist or favorites. Cool. Honestly, this is the big thing for like mounts and minions and stuff on the board. This stuff is just nice little quality of life down here. Following distance adjustments have been made to retainers. This is all kind of normal stuff. Level ranges for ventures are now ordered in reverse from highest to lowest. I very much agree with that. New ventures, new items from quick ones. You can be notified if items placed on the market become prohibited or obsolete. You can now create retainer comments. Oh, actually, that's really nice. I actually do have all of mine separated. But having this, I definitely appreciate that. Because while I'm pretty good at remembering which one's which, I'm not perfect. And now I don't have to be because I can just look at the comment. So thank you. That's a very much appreciated quality of life. New achievements and titles have been added. Certain duties now count towards like the tank achievements, you know, the new ones, some of the old ones, or some of the easier ones, I should say. In order to move from easily distinguishable between complete unfinished achievements, the background color of unfinished achievements have been adjusted. I can see there's a difference, but let me tell you, as somebody who's colorblind, I won't notice when I'm playing the game at all. So I might want to go with something a little bit less subtle. Beta version of Adventurer Plates. They went in great detail on this in the latest live letter, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. The portraits being essentially a group pose, and the portraits being used in PvP. In Crystalline Conflict, it shows your portrait at the start of a match. So if you want a good portrait, then you know, make a good portrait for PvP. They said they'll probably do that with more content in the future as well. So all this stuff from the, I'm not going to go over it too much because of the latest live letter. Dream fitting, the same thing. It's just trying on stuff from the online store, but you have to do it in the in-room at the bed. An option to automatically target enemies. Someone posted this in my Discord before I started streaming today. When executing target-based attacks have been added. So I'm noticing that when executing a target-based action with no target specified, auto-target according to priority, what your auto-target priority is, and enable full auto-target. I mean, there are times when I'm just playing, and it feels like the game just drops my target and won't give it back to me. I'm wondering if this will help with that, or if this is going to be more for just, like, I don't know, like I was AoEing and my target died, so I just spammed the button and it grabbed a new target automatically, or something in that capacity. Either way, I think this is going to be really good. So, I appreciate that. Made to the NPC accompaniment system. Oh, that's where they like follow you around and stuff. As long as you remain in the same area, you no longer become separated. So you can't outrun them, basically. Thank goodness for that. So you can like ride mounts and use the Ethernet and stuff like that. Some NPCs may temporarily disappear in the event of riding mounts or swimming, but they will still be accompanying you. Solid quality of life for that. And the locations now appear on the map. Yeah, that was weird that they didn't do that in the first place. The display of gear set names has been adjusted to reflect the job and item levels individually. I like that because I change the name sometimes and then I have to change it manually every time, and I don't like that. Following adjustments have been made to the currency window. Bicolor gemstones and trophy crystals are listed there. The currency setting has been added, allowing you to customize which currency is displayed. Big fan of that as well, because I actually have been asking for that for quite some time, but it's more like a light ask. Like, man, wouldn't it be nice if, and then I forget to even talk about it from that point on. Following subcommands have been added to the dying interface. Search for item and link. Cool. Traveling to a free destination or using Aetherite tickets, the amount of gil expended will no longer appear in the log window. Okay, I didn't actually notice that, but that's fine. System notifications, including confirmation market sales, no longer display. Yeah, this is you're in the middle of the end of Endwalker. Is like, why do you choose to suffer? Did you know that your retainer has finished their venture? That's long overdue. Renewal period for mentor certification has ended. I'm sure everyone who wanted it got it back already. So we'll see how many people still have their crowns. Hopefully not as many. New dungeons are available for Explore. Oh yeah, I forgot they said they were doing this. Looks like a bunch of all the Heavensward dungeons pretty much being added to the list. And then the new dungeon, of course. Oh yeah, that's normal though. Has been added in this patch. Hullbreaker, Pharaohs. Yeah, it's all Heavensward stuff. Duty. If there's any patch note point where I'm actually depressed every single patch, it's this one. This is literally like every single time I get to the duty recorder update, I'm like, that's just depression. It's just, I don't want to talk about it. Following adjustments have been made to the duty finder. Register via duty support and trust has been added. I like that that's added directly to the duty finder. Following additions have been made to the trust interface, a button linking to the duty finder, a button linking to duty support, and icons allowing you to check availability of NPC avatar glamours. A nice little touch in the end, but the first two are really nice. Check mark will appear on items that have already been obtained or registered. Yeah, they mentioned this in the live letters. Glad to see that. In the event a player spends 30 consecutive days outside their home world, they will automatically be returned to their home world. Okay, interesting. I guess that's fine. Made for the system configuration for PS4 and 5. Oh wow. Draw distance. Use low detail models on distant objects. Okay, yeah, there's draw distance setting for PS4, PS5. Surprised that they took this long to do that. But either way, that's fine. I won't notice it because I don't play on console, but that's fine. Wireless controller setting option under the sound and the system configuration has been renamed to DualSense DualShock 4. Okay. Following options have been added to the character configuration menu. Target tab. Oh yeah, it's the auto. That's the full auto target and priority system. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's the same with this right here. This has been removed from the character configuration. Enable auto target when no target specified. Yeah, because they have the far more in-depth options that we have right now. Wireless controllers have become compatible with. Oh, dude, Mac, bro, really great to see that Mac finally allows for controllers to be used wirelessly. Technology has really come a long way in recent years, and to see such an option become available for Mac users is it's the beginning of a new generation. Okay, specifically these Mac operating systems and these particular controllers, but it's a start. Okay, let's see. Draw, perform motion only. Okay, sheath, determined content. I know it's content, but it's not going to get used that way. People are just going to be like, are you guys ready for some slash content? You already know it's going to happen. Adventure plate, portrait. Yeah. Additions have been made to the auto translation. This is all the normal stuff that's at the end. New trophies, new music. Spatial audio compatible with multi-channel sound cards. Yeah, that was something I saw a few people worrying about when it first came out. Equalizer mode will be automatically set to standard, and accounts with entry subscriptions can now create up to 8 characters per world. Wait a minute. So what's the difference? Wait. I guess it's the maximum number of characters is still 8. So they're like, yeah, if they could just make the 8 characters wherever. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's just the max number of characters that's different. All right, that's fine. I guess they determine. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still just like how many people with entry-level subscriptions are trying to make a ton of characters. But now if they want to, they can make them all in the same place. And that would just be the only place they could make them. So, yeah, and that's going to be it for the preliminary patch notes. Some nice little quality of life in here. Unfortunately, the meat of things we want to get into is all the stuff that they won't tell us and the things that either are not detailed enough or aren't even in the initial patch. Again, as a reminder for that. But Monday is when true chaos is unleashed, because that's when the job details, the job change details will come out. And we all know how that goes every single time. Well, I guess I might want to go get some Bicolor Gemstones or something while I'm waiting. And I got some role quests to finish before the master quests for role quests release. So with that, that's going to be a wrap for our preliminary patch note overview. We'll be doing a State of the Realm where we'll discuss this stuff in a bit more detail, some of our favorite things, and some of the things we just kind of didn't care for, and things we're excited for. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And now I'm going to get back to my Twitch stream, who has been sitting by waiting for me to notice them. And I will notice you now. So thank you. Until next time, take care.